Hello, good evening, everybody. How are we doing today?
Good evening, sir. I'm fine, sir. How are you too, sir?
I'm all right. Nice
Good
to
evening,
have
sir.
you. Good evening. Who else is online? Please say something. You're online. Who else is online? Please say something if you're online.
Good evening, Mr. Richard. This is Ali Tutu on the line. How was your day, sir?
Very well, Ma. Nice to have you. Good evening. Welcome to today's class.
Recording in progress.
Thank you, sir.
So, just as is our ritual here, I would like 2 or 3 people to just tell me or tell us a bit of what has been happening. In a couple of days, we've not been having classes. What have been happening with you? What have you done? What have you learned? Having gone through the replays. Having gone through the replay of our I hope people heard me.
Yes, I heard you, sir.
Went off and then came back. Sorry. I think the network went off and came back.
So I was basically just saying like a ritual. 1 or 2 or 3 people should tell us a bit about how their week has been, what have they learned differently, going through the different reviews and past classes. So let's do that quickly. We're already 5 minutes into our time, please.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Basically, because of the tasks that we have this week concerning the challenge, yeah, we are. Me personally, I am compelled to rewatch the videos again so that I know that I'm not passing wrong information. So I've been replaying. I've been going.
Good evening, everybody, once again. So, like, we heard from Adetutu, right? And from her own story, it shows that beyond what we're just learning in the class, she has also made it a duty to go out of her way to do more research in a bit to improve what she's doing or what she's learning from here, which I also encourage everybody to follow. Also, for the other 2 speakers that talked, they mentioned how they have been trying to apply the things that we've been learning so that they put it in practice and not just hear them, and they've been seeing the improvements in their overall writing. And also, we heard the conversation of it, faithfulness, where she mentioned how she has to go back and revise some of the classes we've had. You get to better understand and also to help in her writing challenge. So, like I'm saying, as part of the content writing challenge, like we know everything we're doing here in SEO, we cannot achieve anything at the end of the day without content. So content is the core. So that's why it's important that you improve on your writing skills. And that is why we first started this whole training by doing a basic introduction to content writing. So it's very important. So it's also important you maybe take further courses on a grammar for English writing, or how to, you get all those courses or free trainings on writing as it may be, or understanding English. There was one I used to recommend people a lot to on LinkedIn. So if I can find that course, it's free. You get on LinkedIn, you can take it. So today we're going to be discussing SEO content topic research. If you can remember, in past classes, we have mentioned that we've talked about the importance of SEO. We've also looked at how search engines work. We've looked at how search engines rank content. We've talked about some of the ranking factors, which is in the last class. So if you've not gone through the last class, you don't know what it's about, you have to see the class we did before this one. So ranking factors. Now we want to look at how can you search for SEO content topics, right? So I'm going to be sharing my screen so that we all can do this together. So ranking factors, as the case may be. So first things first, right? I want to show us something. So at any point where you have questions, you can raise your hand. If I see it, I will take your question at that point. If I do not see it immediately, I would always take it during the time for questioning. So let's say, for instance, I know I made this analysis a period ago. So, but I'm still going to try to use it because it's just the basics. If you understand this, you understand what it takes to research content. Now, it's not just about writing content, it's about writing content that can be found on the World Wide Web. You understand? So if you as a writer working for a client or in your own business, you understand, you are writing content and the contents do not show up on Google search, then you are just doing the wrong thing. You understand? The reason why you're going through this training is so that you can understand the mechanics, what it takes for contents to really be written so that it can be seen. It's not about having 1,000 content on your website or 100 content, and out of those 100 contents, none of them would ever see the light of the day, right? So for instance, if I should come today and say interview coaching service in Nigeria, for instance, right? Now this is a web search, right? I'm trying to find interview coaching services in Nigeria. The first thing you have to understand when people make searches is, why are they making the search? So that is what we call search intent. So as a writer, you get, at every point in time, you need to understand what search intent is. And for every word, whether it's a content you're writing or it's just a content you're trying to analyze, or even if it's a normal search you're doing on search engine, you have to start putting your head and your mind in that of the people who would make that search. So if you're a business person, what kind of queries would people be making if they want to come to your website, if they want to come to your page? Now, I'm telling you how you can start thinking through contents that you should write for your site or for your client. A client can consult you and say, I need so and so content, or I need content for my website. Now, where do you start from? You start from the point to say, what do these people do? And what kind of content would this organization need? Do you understand? So for instance, Pata is a career company. Part of our services is interview coaching. So if you're a Nigerian and you're trying to find out interview coaching services in Nigeria, and you do this search online, right? So you see the first site, Jarosob, the second site, and then you're seeing the next site is our site, right? Now, what would you do? For instance, I'm just assuming you prefer to click on our own site and open our site. Is that not correct? So it will take you to our own site, right? please, just at every point I'm talking, try and respond so that I know that you guys are following me. So, because since I'm sharing my slide, let me know when I've lost you guys or when you guys are still with me. So, am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
Great, great. Okay, so now the next thing I want to, so this is I'm laying the foundation now, because if you understand this foundation, it makes every other thing we're going to talk about today easy. So another thing, what does, where is Fastire located, for instance, right? Fastire is located in Port Harcourt. So if people in Port Harcourt want to now search for interview, so this, anybody can make this search, anybody in Nigeria can make this search for any purpose at all. So now, but we are located in Port Harcourt. Let me just say somebody that stays in Port Harcourt wants to look for interview coaching service in Port Harcourt. Maybe they are trying to prepare for an interview and they need assistance, right? The next search that they would do, the next search they will do is interview coaching services in Port Harcourt, right? So either they will do this search or the other search they will do, let me tell you the other search they will do, interview coaching service near me, right? So they are trying to tell Google to say, are there any interview coaching services close to me? Now, since I am in Port Harcourt, the first organization that is now here is where? Fastire. Why? Because Fastire is in Port Harcourt. So it is also important that as we write, you know, when we did interview coaching services in Nigeria, Jarus Hub was ahead of our own website, right? But when we're doing near me, because in my location, I don't know if it picked my location now. So I don't know, but I know that it will use my IP, right? So it knows in a way I am within these premises, and that is why it's bringing it close to me. So it's the same way you relate with content you're writing, and sometimes clients might not really know, but you know the trade secrets. You get, they might tell you, oh, we need so and so content, we need this content, we need that content. You can write that content for them and they would not rank. You get, what do? You optimize that topic to enable it or help them rank. So for instance, if I was the content writer and somebody gives me a content to write, interview coaching services in Nigeria, right? So they're a career company. I'm going to use Fastire. So they give me this topic. I know that if I write on this topic, you get, they might not come out in top 10. I will now look for a way I can tweak that topic so that even if they don't come out for this, what are alternative searches people can make that they would come out for? So people can make best interview coaching services in Nigeria, top interview coaching services in Nigeria. Where can I find interview coaching services in Nigeria? Now, you will now start tweaking some of these titles to see how they perform and know the people who are ranking on top, and know if that website you want to write for can rank for that content. Am I making sense? Am I making sense?
Yes, you are.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I have used one search. So now this other search was interview coaching service in Port Harcourt. Who is coming first? Fastire. Why is Fastire coming first? Because Fastire is located in Port Harcourt. Here you have Jarus Hub. Jarus Hub is now number 2. Are you getting it? So, but remember in this other search we made, interview coaching services in Nigeria, Jarus Hub is number 1. This other site is number 2 before you find here. So peradventure, the person making this search does not even bother about 2 and 3. The person goes straight to this. You get? Is maybe when they now test the pricing of these guys, they find out that, okay, they don't like the pricing or it's too much, they will not come to see number 2 or 3. But since we might not be number 1 there, we have another area where we can write for and be number 1. Are you guys getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So I have shown you. So this is the way it works. For instance, I'll use another instance again now. So I've used professional service. Let me use another type of example. So I'm going to use an example. Let me use fashion. Should I use fashion? So I will just say, okay, no, let me use entertainment. Let me just use entertainment for now. So I'll say top 5 richest Nigerians. Let me just use this for instance. Nine. So top 5 richest Nigerians, you're seeing Wikipedia is first. Now, when you're seeing a content where Wikipedia is first, you as a small blog or as a small website, or your client that his website is just starting yesterday, you cannot be mad to go and be trying to outrank Wikipedia. Wikipedia has a lot of backlinks. Wikipedia has a lot of domain authority. You get, I'm not saying you can't outrank them, but you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're trying to drag position with them. Go for other topic type or synonymous search. So look at the other one, pause. You can't compete with these guys. So what other avenues can you use to tweak it? Can you turn it to a question? So you're seeing that when I just click here, you're seeing alternative, who is the top 10 richest man in Nigeria 2024. Now, so the other one, who is top 100 richest man in Nigeria, who is richest man in Nigeria top 10, who is the top, all these things are things people ask. You might wonder, oh, the person did not phrase the English well. Trust me, that's the way they type it. That's the way Google algorithm captures it too. Even if they make typo error in it, Google will capture it like that and you'll be seeing. And for it to come out here, it means it has a lot of people coin their own this way. So now you have coined your own top 5 richest Nigerians, and you see people who have been coining their own, who is the top 10 richest man in Nigeria. So let's click on this and see the website that is ranking number 1. Still Wikipedia. Do you understand? This is number 2. But another thing you're going to watch is that none of them actually covers the topic in terms of a question. Most of them cover the topic in terms of what's it called? A blog post, like a title. So if you write the content with the title like this, you might have a good chance of coming up in the first page. Why? Because your content has topical relevance to the key phrase that was added. So even if you did not, even if you do not have the listing, because your own title is is word to word with what people usually search, the algorithm will favor you. Right? Now, this is the basic. Having understood this, I can now share my slide, and then when we come back to it, all of this will make sense. So let me share. Let me start projecting my slide. What am I looking for? Sorry. So all right, I've done a bit of introduction, which is just what I did. Now, according to DigiStockSec, as of 2024, there are about 1.1 billion websites on the World Wide Web. Out of all the websites in the world, only about 200 million are active. So out of 1.1 billion, websites, only 200 million are active. This means only 17.83% are actively maintained and visited, right? How many blogs are created daily? According to Master Blogging, approximately 7.5 million blog posts are published every day. In the ever-evolving realm of blogging, understanding the pace of growth is key to strategic decision. According to Quora, it is estimated that Google indexes hundreds of millions of, why can't I see that part? I can't see. Sorry. Okay. Let me see if I can go and get that. Sorry. I didn't think, should have. Sorry. Let me get what was exactly written in the other slide. So according to Quora, it's estimated that Google indexes hundreds of millions of new web pages per day. Now, why are all these stats important? All these stats are important to show you the level of competition you are against on a daily basis with your content. So it's not just enough to go and write content that will never be seen. There are 200 million active websites. Even as you're creating your own website, there are more people also creating their website. And every day, Google is trying to index the content from all these websites. When we say index, what we're just trying to say is that Google reads and collects the data from all these websites and stores them in its own storage system, like in a way of memory. You get, when you read book, you store it somewhere in your memory. So Google indexes it, or Google goes through web pages every day. So as people are creating web pages, Google crawlers are busy, and other search engine crawlers are busy crawling. So you don't want to be the one that is writing content that the crawler is putting under the table, under the pile. So all those things you read that when it's time to remember them, you can't remember them anymore. You don't want your content to be that one that stays under. So what do? You put your content in a way, or you write your content in a way that it gives it opportunity to see the light of the day. In SEO world, when we say a content has seen the light of the day, it means the content has appeared on first page. If you have not appeared on first page, you've not seen the light of the day. You understand? And the life of a website is determined by how many of these contents can see the light of the day. So you always want to have enough content seeing the light of the day. If not, two things are involved. Either you get tired and close down the website, or you understand, that's majorly what happens. So why do most of the pages get zero traffic? So it's important to lay all this foundation. The page one factor, I've already mentioned it. The page one factor is that a lot of sites that do not appear on page one, many people do not bother. So if we remember, most of us, we don't even go to page 2 to page 3 of the search engines, if we're being truthful. Once we check page 1, that's enough for us. We most times find what we're looking for in page 1, and then we go our way. So that's the page 1 factor. That's one of the reasons why most of the pages created daily get zero traffic. Poor or missing optimization. That is why you're being trained in SEO optimization or search engine optimization, because you need to understand how it means. And that is what we covered in the last class, some of the things that makes content rank. Using old tactics, I mentioned also in the last class, old tactics do not work anymore. So remember why I was saying it's so important that the thing we're doing in the last class, everybody gets it. Lack of SEO knowledge. You understand? People just write for the sake of writing, just for a hobby. If you do not have people you're sharing your content with, if you're just writing for a hobby, if you do not have people you're sharing your content with that like your readers, and you don't expect search engines to send content to you, to send traffic to you, you understand? You get, so if you want search engines to send traffic to you, you actually have to understand what the SEO is and how to use it. So that is why you are also here, because there are a lot of people who have websites but do not know how to make their content rank. That is why you're being trained and you can do them. Set it and forget it approach. One of the reasons, again, why a lot of people's content do not see the light of the day is because once they finish setting up the content, they forget it. For instance, again, if the content even starts ranking, that's the worst. Some people think once their content has started ranking, that's all it is. They don't bother themselves anymore. So that's not the right thing. The fact that your content is ranking today does not mean it cannot be outranked tomorrow. You understand? Or next year. So you also have to always improve on the content. So if you find your content that is ranking, that is even the time you pay more attention to that content. As a matter of fact, if you're managing your site or a client site, you should have a list of all the web pages on your site that have started ranking. You get what it means by started ranking is that Google is sending them traffic. You have in your Google Analytics, you see that so number of people visited this page. You want to take care of those pages. Like you use the 80-20 formula. You even focus or give more attention to those pages that are bringing you traffic. You spend 80% of your energy managing and ensuring those pages do well. You understand? You refresh the content, you promote the pages, you do a lot of things to keep those pages active and bringing you those sweet traffic that either helps you generate revenue or deals, and as the case may be. Insufficient content. In the past, people just write to 300, you get just shabbily content, 500, and then they move. No, so a lot of content too do not rank because the content they've written or posted on the site does not have sufficient information that the algorithm trusts to send traffic to you. So remember also that Google has customers. You get a lot of people think Google has customers. So if Google is not doing their work properly to feed their customers with the right information, the customers will dunk them and choose another search engine. So the reason why the whole world or majority of the world is still patronizing Google's search engine is because to a greater extent, Google brings better solution or better results to your finding or quicker, faster solution to your finding than some other search engines. Even though some of those search engines now have improved in a lot of ways to match up with what Google has. In the past, when you ask questions, you're more likely to find a clear, closer answer to what you're looking for than when you try all these other search engines. But some of them have caught up now with Google. But as you already know, Google have taken a lot of the market share. So no backlinks. So backlinks are always important. So as an SEO, you should understand the importance of interlinking and backlinking. Interlinking is links that connect that content you're creating to other contents on the site, and as well as links that connect the content you're creating to external content. So this is a way of passing what we call linking juice, you understand, from one page to another. So another reason why content do not rank is no internal links. Okay, I covered that two together. Plagiarized or recycled content. So I taught in one of the classes already, it's not good anymore. So in the past, what people used to do, so let me tell you what in the past people used to do. So let me show you guys in the past, with respect to this, let me show you a quick one. So in the past, when somebody wants to write about how to cook vegetable soup, for instance, so what they just come, they come, okay, it's videos, but now let me imagine let me use another content topic that does not need this thing. How to play Ludo game. Let's use game this time around. So how to play Ludo game. So what people used to do is they will just come, see the top ranking content. So what they will just do is open this, maybe open this, right? So they will just read this, kind of do a meta summary or take notes of the things that were covered here, come here, see what these people covered that was not covered in the other one, try to add it to their own, then same thing. So when they've gotten the key points, they will now go ahead and now start writing, like, so they will just get ideas So they don't copy like to say, oh, copy everything. No. So they just get ideas, combine it together, and now form their own. So, but over time, before, that used to work very well, because by the time you create your own content, you would have provided an article that kind of incorporates three important contents or three contents with good information in a way that you are providing more information than the other sites already. And then you might not have the higher chance of ranking more than them or ranking amongst them, as the case may be. So in the past, that used to happen. But now the algorithms are learning differently. The reason is because aside humans having a different attention span, there's also the competition from generative text apps and bots like the chat GPTs and all the rest. So the onus is on them to even get better at the way they provide information. So they need to get better at the results they show you from searches. And that is why in the class when we're going to be talking about Google Core Updates, we're going to talk about, to show you some of the things Google did as the whole conversation around ChatGPT happened. Google had to do a lot of change. You get a lot of updates to, like, they change a lot of things that shook a lot of websites, so that all those unnecessary pages that we had with just stuff information that we're ranking will stop ranking. So that plagiarized or recycled content does not work. Now you want to ask what then works. So what works actually right now is unique content. So yes, it might be the same title, but then what new concepts have happened? Do you understand? So in another way to explain that, let's use this same example I gave, how to play Ludo game. You understand? Now, if you go here, they have already explained, for instance, these people have already explained how Ludo game you get works. Now, what you that is trying to write this on still how to play Ludo game, is there anything new with what you're bringing, with the information you're bringing? What is novel? You get, what is the cutting edge this thing? Is there like a new update? You get, if there are new techniques, you can now add that in your content. So for instance, if the algorithm starts seeing something like new techniques to play Ludo game, so this is how to play Ludo game, but then you write a content on new techniques to play Ludo game. You understand? Probability is that you find your content will come up amongst this, not because it is what's it called, it is the best, but just because you have new techniques to share. And in the first maybe 3 months or 6 months after the content has been published, what the algorithm will do is that it will first show your content around maybe number 5 of the search, you get. And then when people see your content, new techniques, people want to be like, okay, what is this new technique this person or this page has to share? By the time those people go to that your page and they find it interesting, they find it valuable, because as the algorithm has sent them there, it's going to be studying their action. Do people just leave immediately? So if people just enter and leave immediately, it means that you just used clickbait. There was nothing new in the idea you're sharing. So you're not just using new techniques just to use the word new techniques. You're using the word new technique because even though you want to write about how to play Ludo game, you're bringing in new information that is not already on the web. You understand? Or you can write about the lost ancient way of playing Ludo game, right? So people might also be interested, because remember that there was a class I was telling you that as an SEO writer, you're trying to satisfy 2 customers. One is the humans, 2 is the algorithm. there's a language the algorithm hears, there's a language the human understand. Now, ideally, when you put this content topic, for instance, you get people coming to read, people who maybe make a search and see this maybe in the mix, because the algorithm is trying to test what you have written to see, oh, does this make sense? You get, it will now put it among the mix, and then it will try to see what do you have to offer. So when people are clicking it and go and actually see, oh, whoa, so this was an old method of playing Ludo game before the current one we're playing, you get, and people find the content interesting, the algorithm will now know, okay, this content is actually worth it. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to explain to us why plagiarized and recycled content don't work and how things work now. You understand? You need to work with new information. So even if you do not use the phrase new techniques, or you understand, you need to also be sure that what you're sharing is not just the recycled stuff that is existing. You might not want to ask me, okay, how can you now make the new stuffs exciting? That is for another class in the future, but just have that in mind. All right, so that said, let's continue. I hope I'm communicating. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
you are.
All right, great. So this is just what I've explained now. Patreon factor, sadly, a lot of never get visits. So I've already explained this. I just explained this also. So that's that. No backlink, plagiarized content too. So understanding long tail and head keywords. Now, for you to be able to research SEO keywords, you need to understand long tail keywords and head keywords. So I already mentioned a bit of it in previous classes, but we're still going to look at it in more detail. So I'm going to go through these tips. You get, then we would do the practical. We'll exit this screen and then we see the practical. So the tips here is target long tail keywords. You want to ask, what are long tail keywords? Long tail keywords are keywords that are around 5 to 8 words. You understand? So they are long tail because you're following the approach of trying to, some of those keywords follow the approach of questions. You know, like that previous keywords I just I was telling us about, who is the richest man in Nigeria in 2024? That is a long tail keyword. What is long, as opposed to richest man in Nigeria. You get, richest man in Nigeria is a head keyword. Is short, is straight to the point. You understand? Long tail keywords is now who is something like top 10 best richest men in Nigeria 2024, or top 10 best richest men in Nigeria and their state of origin, or top richest men in Nigeria and their net worth. That is a long tail keyword. Do I explain? Okay. So for instance, if we have the keyword richest men in Nigeria, this is a head keyword. You understand? This is a head keyword. It's short. You understand? Most likely for a new website, if you want to write for this, you might not be able to rank for it because there are sites with better authority than yours that are already ranking for it. Now, what you would do, you get other types of head keywords should be resume sample. This is a head keyword. If you want to write for this, you might not rank. Other example is jollof rice recipe. You get, you might not rank for this. This is a what's sorry for that. So jollof rice recipe, right? You might not rank for this. This is So in this case, this is a head keyword. They are short, they're straight to the point. Another head keyword would be something like Davido net worth. You understand? This is a head keyword. Another one would be which other keyword will I use? Ballon d'Or winner 2024. This is a head keyword. If I write on this, if I have a sports website, for instance, I write on this, I probably will not rank, because people will be there. But then in the flip side, the long tail keyword of this will not be something like who won the Ballon d'Or, who was the Ballon d'Or winner 2024, and what's it called? Club side. You get? So I'm using the long tail keyword approach. You understand? To see if I will have a better chance of ranking. You understand? So you can see what other people are. What was Ronaldo's ranking in Ballon d'Or 2024? You can also use this approach. People ask this question. So you can, why not create a content? The title of the content is what was Ronaldo's ranking, or Ronaldo's ranking, find out Ronaldo's ranking in Ballon d'Or 2024. These are the ways you do SEO content research. So you're not just, here are some other things you can consider. Who was the Ballon d'Or winner 2023 and club side? So you see that it's similar to that long tail keyword I was talking about. You understand? So that's how it works. There was another example I used in the beginning, or what example? What's that example I used now? Who can remind me the first, when I was explaining this long keywords and short keyword, what was the first head keyword I used?
Richest, I think the richest man.
No, richest man is who can remember? No, richest. Was it richest man? Was it the first example I used?
Yes, who is the richest man?
So richest man, okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So with that, I told us richest man in Nigeria. I told us this is now the head keyword. Now, if we want to tweak the long tail keyword of this, it could not be latest, richest man in Nigeria in 2024. Or you get, this now becomes a long tail keyword. Another way I can tweak this. So I'm trying to write the same thing I would have written with that content, richest man in Nigeria. But I'm using another approach. Another way I can even write this is richest men in Nigeria and their position in Africa. You understand? So this same content, I want to talk about the richest men in Nigeria, but I'm not adding another perspective of saying, okay, what is their own position aside being richest men in Nigeria? What is their position in the richest people in Africa, or among the richest people in Africa? Or so richest men in Nigeria and their global Forbes ranking. This is another way to write the same topic. Now, in this topic, I will still talk about the richest men in Nigeria, but I will now also tell you what their global Forbes ranking is. Why another person would have just written richest men in Nigeria, say 2024. There are people that would be appealed, that this title will appeal to, because in this content, they will learn about the richest men in Nigeria and at the same time still know where they rank globally on Forbes list. You get among global richest people. You get, so there are people that just want to know only this thing, so they read this one and go. But there are people that this one will appeal to. So you're using the long tail keyword, even though you want to target the same content, but you get to them. I'll use another instance. So is this clear enough?
Yes.
All right, great. So let me use another instance. Who can remember the second example I used when I was giving the...
Yeah, my class with this.
Who can remember the second
You
example I used?
used the Ballon d'Or. I think you were using Ballon d'Or.
I've already shown how we can use short and long tail for Ballon d'Or. Okay, I know I talked about CV. I talked about CV sample, resume sample, right? So we have resume sample. And I told us that if I write for this resume sample, you get, my content most likely will not see the light of the day, because the guys there are, you understand, they will knock me off. You get, so what do? I try to use the long, so this is the head keyword now. So I try to see how can I use the long tail keyword approach. So I can now do something like ATS resume sample for customer service representative 2024. Now, this is a long tail. You get, so it's specific. You get somebody who is specifically searching for this content. Those are the people that will see it. But it's also good. Why another reason why long tail keyword is good is that you can use long tail keyword to actually go target specific people. You understand, and meet them, as opposed to the head keyword. Sometimes the head keywords are good for generic or general information. Sometimes the long tail keywords is where you meet customers' need. You understand? So for instance, a woman, a pregnant, should I give another example of long tail keyword for this type? Or are we good to go?
I think we're good to go. I'm good to go. I don't know for others.
Okay. All right. So another place you can see instances is when you come to this part where they have people also search. So you can see resume sample for job application, no experience. So you can now choose to write your own content and use the word no experience, right? So it means people who are searching for this, you get, so they are there. Now, I wanted to make a last, so I'm going to make a last sample. So I'm going to say, baby, okay, clothes for new babies. This is a long key, this is a head keyword, right? Or short keyword. Now, if you try to write on this, you're going to face heavy competition that you might not be able to compete with if you have a client who is into selling of clothes and all that. Now, the way you can approach this, you can try to, remember I told you that going the long tail approach also helps you meet specific audience or the needs of specific audience. So you can say best clothes for new babies 6 to 12 months old. Are you seeing it now? Are you guys there?
Yes,
I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
All right. So another way you can also do the is best clothes for new babies during raining season. Are you seeing it? Now, you might not rank for this because the competition is high. You might rank for this because you've made it, you've brought it down. You get another way to be, you can write the content as what is the best clothes recommendation for newborn babies. A mother can make this search online like this. A mother can just ask Google. Remember that they talk to Google in the past. It's not now again. I don't know. People still do it now. People talk to Google. People make searches on Google like they are asking somebody a question. You understand? People just come to Google and say, how can I cook egusi soup with frying method? You understand? People will ask it like this. You know, it's different from when somebody says how to cook egusi soup frying method. Now, this person that writes this is trying to do a research, like he's searching like he's not talking to a human, but there are people who do searches like this. How can I go? Like they ask Google the question or a search engine's equation like they are talking to humans. So it's the same way for this. So now that you've understood this, ladies and gentlemen, what I have just given to you is the intro of how to do manual keyword research. Now, I did not tell you when I started so that it does not start making people, but as you can see how I've just broken it down, if you can do this, you have already learned the manual method of doing keyword research. Doing SEO keyword research is doing a thorough work in a way that when you are done coming up with a topic, that topic has a high chance of ranking by the time you write the content. So it's not just about writing content, it's about writing content that have the chance of ranking. That is what you do for yourself, that is what you do for your clients. So even when your clients give you topics and you put it on the search engine, and you find out that with the people that are ranking for this content, it might be difficult for these my clients to rank. You tweak the title and let the client know the reason why. You can also remember that in previous class, I have talked about there are some base content that you have to write. You do not mind whether you will rank for it or not rank for it. That is when you're building topical authority. For instance, if you're a career company, you can have a content on how to write resume. Now, but your purpose of writing that content, how to write resume, might just be to build topical authority and build anchor content. So anchor contents are like the content that help spread out other contents. So it's just like when you have a major street that has other small roads or crescents you get within it or close inside it. So anchor content is like the main street, the main road, then there are other smaller streets anchored to it. So before you can write a content on best clothes recommendation for newborn babies, you probably would have a content on best clothes Sorry, before you have a content on best clothes recommendation for newborn babies during rainy season, you probably should have an anchor keyword of best clothes for babies, for instance. You get, but you know that the purpose of that one is for what's it called now? To build an anchor text, sorry, an anchor content, and to also share backlink. So you might not find out that it is the content you wrote, the long tail content you wrote, that you might not be using to pass linking juice to this other short form content topic. You get, because you might not be able to rank one here, but you can write this topic and this topic and do it in a way that the two of them, you have link from this content going to this content, and you have link in this content going to this content. So if this one ranks, this one will now be sending backlinks to this one. So before, even though you have a page that says best cognac in Nigeria, right? So even if you have a page that says best, let me use best cognac brands in Nigeria, you might not rank for this, you get, but then you now write how to discover the best cognac brands in Nigeria. So maybe somebody is making a search to understand how to discover best cognac brands in Nigeria. You write this, and then in this your content, after explaining it and the person is satisfied, there's now a link taking the person to say, okay, here is a list of the best cognac brands. The person would willingly go. But on a normal day, if you had written this content, you probably wouldn't have ranked. Now, this is how you approach it. So that's why sometimes we say that when you're doing a content research, one good content key phrase or keyword you find out can lead to multiple content topics. And that is how you keep writing and then keep building topical authority. Am I communicating? Am I communicating?
Yes, sir.
All right. So in all of these things I did, I just used manual method. I tried not to even use any tool at all. So I'm just explaining how it works. So you get clothes for new babies in Nigeria. You get, so you are seeing that if you, let's say, you write for a brand that sells clothes for new babies in Nigeria, you get, they will have a page. There's nothing wrong with having this page, but you might just know that you might not be able to compete with these guys. So still write it in a form to build topical authority, but you cannot create other longer tail key content that will link back to this. So those contents, they have better chances of ranking. They will bring linking this. So we could say clothes for new babies born in northern Nigeria during Harmattan. Hope I can remember the spelling of Harmattan. Is it H-A-R-M-A? Is it T-T-A-N or T-H? What's missing? I know there's something wrong with this spelling. What's the spelling of Harmattan?
Harma. Chan.
See, okay, that means I was right all along. So you can have this content, you get clothes for new babies born in northern Nigeria during Harmattan. There are people that will search it, there are people that will read it. You get, now when you write that content, in there, you can also have clothes for new babies in Nigeria and link back to this. You might not rank a first page for this, but you might rank here. And then that traffic that comes from here will still see this content relevant. And that is why on some pages, on places like FastIR's website, let me show you something. We have something we call editor's recommendation. You understand? Editor's recommendation. So you get to see some other content that the editor of the content has recommended because the person believes that content written by or content read by these people would be relevant. I'm trying to look for, okay. So here you have what I'm trying to say. You get a best job interview preparation website in Nigeria. Worst interview mistakes. So it's assumed that people that read a content on best job interview preparation website should also find worst interview mistakes relevant. Do you get? So that is how this works. This content now, anybody that comes and reads this and finds any of this relevant, you get, they can click on this. And once they click on this to that other page, this page has sent linking juice to that other page. So that is how backlinking works. That is how backlinking works. Am I communicating?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So I have too many tabs on now. So this process I have used is to show us how we can think around. So other methods would be looking at what other people search, using them, tweaking them, and seeing how it goes. You understand? So then we analyze and then we put our brains to work. So the other method now, is just a minute. Okay. I wanted to be sure that it's still recording. Excuse me. So the other method I'm going to show us now, because I started without using any tool, I'm going to use the first tool. It's called Moz, M-O-Z. So everybody should download this. It's a Chrome extension. So if you have your system, I think I mentioned it the last time, download this now, M-O-Z. And then if you have your system, I think you should be trying out some of these things I'm doing. And also this one I'm about to start doing now, you need to also try it out. So M-O-Z, type it now on Google search. So M-O-Z Chrome extension, just you see it, just click on it. It will just download briefly, and then ensure you're using a Chrome browser. It will come out here. It will come out somewhere here. So launch it, just set it up. So you have an account like this. Just set up your accounts. Set up your accounts. You have an account like this. So that's when you have done this thing. They'll just give you an account like this. So you can quickly. Are you guys still there? Do we have
Yes,
people
sir.
setting it up? Do we have people setting it up?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you're setting it up, I'll wait for you. So do that. How many people are setting it up? If you're setting it up, let me indicate. Let me know how many people are following through. If you're setting it up, if you're with your PC, remember I mentioned it at this class, you would need your PC. I think I informed everybody. Please, my system should not do this. It's trying to slow me down. It's trying to slow me down. Okay, Ogechi, you're setting it up. That's good. Who else is setting it up? Please let me see your hand. If you're setting it up, MOZ, Moz, that's the word there, Moz Chrome extension. You can just type in Moz Chrome. So Adetutu is setting it up. Great. Who else is setting it up? Who else is setting it up? Because we would use it and try practical now. So only 2 people are setting it up. Well, others that have their system, what happened? Raji.
Sir,
You're not setting it up. You're not with your PC. Where is Fashina?
I don't have one, sir. I'm using my
Oh,
phone.
okay. Okay. Now, the 2 people setting it up, are we set? Are we good to go now? Has he installed? Ideally, you people would have even set this thing up since, because I know I mentioned it in the last class. And if people had gone through the replay, you would have heard it again. I said it that you will set it up and come, because you will need it in the class today. So because I want to try and see if we can finish everything about the manual process today. Then maybe in the next class, we talk about how to use the paid tools. So I think enough time has passed. The ladies, you would always follow through. So this is Moz. Now, Moz also has this paid part, but that is not what we are focused on for today. What we're focused on is the free opportunity that Moz offers to us. Now, when you have your Moz extension installed and is active, you will see this shade of blue, right? You see this will lit up. So if it's not active, if you can't read this page, you see this will be dark. So it's no longer reading this page. So if I turn this or if I click on it, it comes on, it can read this page. Now, any search I make, Moz will give me like it will give me a start of the page authority and the domain authority of the website on that search page. Now, know that it is not a 100% accurate number you get, and Google has their own rating, which might be different from theirs. But in a way, it gives us a start, like it gives us something close to what Google rates each website on the World Wide Web on, right? So for instance, we have this page, and since my mouse is active and running, it has read this particular web domain. I already told us what a domain is. A domain is the name, is the URL, for instance, of the website. So this is the domain, right? So it has read that this particular page has a page authority of 24 over 100. This is over 100, by the way. And it has a domain authority of 22 over 100. Remember, like I said, this is just like an estimate. It's a bit, it's not 100%, right? So for instance, it will read Google page to be, so it will read Google's page to be maybe 90 something. So hope we know that Google is also a website. So It's going to read Google's website and give us a ranking for Google. Okay, so it's not, I don't know, for some reason it's not producing that now. So, but we'll not waste our time in it. So, but where I'm going to is Moz offers us the opportunity to, so for instance, you want to write a content, right? Let's use the past examples we use, clothes for new babies in Nigeria. Now, when your Moz is on, like I showed you, as you can see, your Moz is on, Moz helps you to understand. So I will refresh this page so that it can reread this page again and give me the data again. So Jumia's page should be somewhere around 60 or 80, and I don't know why it's not giving the rating. But the next, watch the next website, or is page authority of 3, domain authority of 1. It means that this is a new website, you get. And according to that thing I was trying to explain to us, clothes for new babies in Nigeria, you can see that this website, though a new website, see what this clothes, the baby clothes 0 to 2, you get 0 to 2. You can see this option, new baby dresses 0 to 3 months. So it begins to give you idea to say, okay, if this website wrote with this as target 0 to 2, you get, it might be part of the reason that's giving it a good ranking position. So you can see that for this website with a domain authority of 1 to be ranking among top 3, if you write for a client with this same title, you get properly written content, you also have the chance of ranking among. So the other content, you can also see the other contents and their own ratings. I don't know why the rating is not complete. I don't know. Let me refresh this again. Before, it's supposed to show you all the sites. All the sites. So I don't know if I should start this afresh. Let me start a new. What are we going to use as a search? What search should we make? What search should we make? Somebody give.
Racism in Spanish football.
Racism. Can we use something else? We don't know who will be seeing that. Let's use something else.
How to drive an automatic car.
Okay, how to drive an automatic car. So here's a search, how to drive an automatic car. Most of the contents that will rank first are videos, because this is clearly a video-based content. So it's trying to teach. So I want something, let's use a topic that is more reader-based, more the one that appeals more to readers as opposed to people who would prefer a video. Anytime, anybody suggestions, please, let's be fast. We're going, we still have a lot to cover, and our time is fast. It's running fast. We are people in the class now. Give me a topic suggestion that are people not in this class, or did they just join and Kevin, don't worry. Yes, talk now. Give me a content topic suggestion.
How to treat hair dandruff.
All right, thank you. So I'll do that search, how to treat hair dandruff. So I'm assuming this content is maybe for people who are in the beauty industry, who have spa, hairdressing salons, and the rest of that. So I really do not know. Why is my mouse misbehaving? Supposed to give me what is the problem? Okay, great. So we can see the first website here. See what I was talking about? That's going to give you a rating. So this page authority is 63. The domain authority of this website is 94. This one, page authority 52. Domain authority 78. This one, page authority 20. Domain authority 18. Here, 65, 91. You see, 91, 96, 90. If a client gives me this topic to write for them for their new website, it's automatically a no-no. So this rating would already tell me that unless the client is writing this to just build topical authority, but they still have other content that they will use to target traffic, you understand? I would advise them not to write it. So, but if they have about 4 topics that are related, and this how to treat dandruff is one of them, I can go ahead and write it, or I can go ahead and recommend it for them. You get, but if their focus is to say they want to use this particular content for traffic, because they might not see first page, and as a matter of fact, they might not even see second page, because you can see the people ranking. So once you see a keyword, you search it, and you see all of these like this, if it's a content you're trying to use to target traffic, just know that either you have to tweak your own topic, you get, so that your content can see the light of the day, you get, and then you can use this one as a base, as an anchor topic. So I can tweak this now. Having seen this, I can now come to people also search. So how to treat hair dandruff. People also search home remedies for dandruff and itchy scalp. I can try to see what this search phrase, what the difficulty is. So what we're trying to use this Moz extension to check is the difficulty of the keywords we have. You understand? We want to see what it looks like. So we can come here, for instance, and say, so here we have done home remedies for dandruff. So we want to also see, are these ones also tough? You get? I hope this mod has not started again. Let's just show me clearly. So I don't know why it's acting up. So, but ideally, just what it did here is what it will normally do, to just give you a rating for them. So I'm just maybe let me turn this off and turn it back on again and see if it fixes the issue. So say, okay. Let me see. Okay, so apparently turning it off and turning it back on in case it goes wild can help fix it. So again, we're seeing the first 2 pages are high domain authority, and the 3rd page is low. The other ones are high authority, high authority. So it's still telling me this topic is a no. You get, it's very competitive. You get, so like I said, unless the client is looking at it for anchor, you might not want to try it out. So you might now start tweaking the title or looking for other alternatives that can help you. You get, so this one says how to get rid of dandruff in 5 minutes. You can now check this one, for instance. So this is manual method. We're not using tools. We're just using our head and trying to understand searchers' intent, and just use the first one I did was just practically without nothing. Now I've introduced a tool that will just help us see the difficulty. there are also the ones where you just put keywords and then the tools start showing you figures, but we'll still get to that. So, but let's still be learning this. So this is the manual method, remember. So this, again, so I said, let's try this one because this person used a kind of this search query, say how to get rid of dandruff. So there's somebody who is really itching and hopes their dandruff is off and gone forever in 5 minutes. So let's see if there's a remedy or if there's a way for us to write the content. If we write the content of this, is this possible? So another thing you're also watching is that most of this content, none of them really answers the question, or none of the title is actually saying how to treat, how to get rid of dandruff in 5 minutes, that particular 5 minutes that that person mentioned. So it gives you the lead to say, okay, all these contents here, none of them have addressed that issue of 5 minutes. Maybe I'm going to be the one to write my own content and talk about the 5 minutes. So if you check this one that appeared with a rich snippet, you can see that it appeared because it has 5 minutes in it. You get there's somewhere in the content that it's talked about, you get 5 minutes. But even what it is talking about is just how to wash your hair, not really the removing. So it gives you that lead to say it's possible that there are people, because for this to appear in other people asks, it means that a lot of people have asked. So if one person just asks one question, it's not enough for Google to bring it in. People also search. Is when millions of people or thousands of people have been asking that particular question, Google can now say, okay, this is one of the questions. So anytime you see all those people also ask, know that is what real people are asking, and they are asking it a lot. So that is also traffic. So all these people also ask, you're seeing, just know that they are traffic. So if you can write them and write the content well, that's traffic for your site. Now, the first question people would have asked is, how do we get the content ideas to start the process of researching the topics on and checking if we can rank for it? It starts with what, for businesses, what are the services of the business? So when you know the services of the business, you have them written down. What kind of clients are they looking for, right? Now, what kind of education do those people need? You can also see how you write content around there. The other way, again, you can now go to, I will now introduce the third tool we're going to use. Sorry, I will say answer the public, right? Answer the public. So I'm going to introduce answer the public. So for instance, my client has, I'm assuming my client has a digital marketing company. So I'll just come here and type digital marketing. So what I want to try to do here is to get a large pool of questions or key phrases that people usually ask. You understand? Just not much, just not really for anything. You get, I just want to see what people are asking, people are saying with respect to digital marketing. Will digital marketing replace traditional marketing? This is a question a lot of people are asking. You get, so you begin to see, will digital marketing be replaced by AI? You get, this will begin to shape your thoughts, the thoughts in your head. Sorry, am I supposed to accept something? So let me decline that. I don't know why this thing of this page just suddenly increased. Let me see if I can read it. 150, how? Please, I'm not an old, not, all right. So here's what I'm saying. So this website will just give you a lot of all of those questions. Now, you can copy, you get a lot of the questions that you find relevant. You get, but I'm not going to copy it. I'm just going to see how digital marketing is different from traditional marketing. Now, why I like this content is because it's long tail, right? So I'll just say, for instance, my client has a digital marketing company. Remember, I'll just open this in another tab. So When I open this in another tab, I have my Moz on. So Moz is also going to tell me the search difficulty for this. You understand? So Mr. Moz is acting up this evening. So it wants me to fry egg for it a bit. So I've done that and I've turned it off and I've turned it back on. And I'm hoping it's going to now show me the data. So come on, Mr. Moz. So, but normally it doesn't do this anyway. So I don't know, maybe network glitch on the site. So here is what we have, right? Domain authority 70, 70, 90. So this 27. So it gives me an overview. So quickly, I have seen that the topic is not even an easy topic to rank for. How digital marketing is different from traditional marketing. So I'll begin to see, okay, what other ways can I tweak this content? So I have here, what is the difference between digital marketing and traditional marketing? Okay, let me go down and see other people ask. Difference between digital marketing. So let me see if I can open this. Explain how digital marketing. So remember I told you people ask Google questions like they're asking somebody. So let me try these two and see what they also look like in terms of search difficulty and if something I can weigh my company or my clients' websites to work content on. So I've seen alternatives, and again, I don't know why Mr. Moss is doing this to me. I have to turn it off and turn it on just for it to work. It doesn't do this anyway. So now, interesting, difference between traditional marketing and digital marketing. We're now seeing domain and page authorities that are lesser than 40 in the top 3. It begins to make sense now. Say, okay, we're now beginning to find something. So this one is 43. You get Economic Times actually higher than that. So it might just be that we started seeing what we're looking for. So because for a website with, you want to always write, if your website has 0 to 10, you want to write on content, or you want to pursue content with lesser than 30 or 30 domain authority. But if your content is already 10, around 10, you can pursue as high as 40 to 50. It might work for you, but 40 is okay. If your domain authority is already 20, you can pursue as high as 50. Content with domain set difficulty of what's it called now? 15. So this tool helps us have an idea of what the difficulty to rank for this kind of a content is. So if I have seen this and say, okay, this is difference between traditional marketing and digital marketing, PDF. Now remember that because this has a PDF, the people making this search are actually looking for PDF document. So ensure that after writing, you either create a quick PDF document that you would use to attach this. You get, maybe you summarize that same stuff you wrote as the web blog and put in the PDF and put here for download. You understand? Now people can come to your clients or your websites, read the substance. You might not have links to other relevant pages or services that they can patronize. So this is how you do the manual process. So when you're done with that, you found something, this page can even give you, from this point, you can now even go even further to check other traditional marketing is PPT. You can create another page that is PPT, that's a PowerPoint slide. You can have that. You can check how difficult is it. You get the same content you create here. You can just create the slide format, create this thing. People who are making this search would come, find value, get used to your site or get something from your site. That's how it works. You understand? That's how it works. So with that one search alone, you probably already have seen 2 search words that you can pursue. You can also try some of these other long tail, put them on the search, Google search, see how they act, and see what you can get from it. When you're done with that, you can still come back to this same place. There are a lot you get. If your client is you can keep testing all of this using that same method I showed you. Once you keep doing that, before you're done, you would have seen a lot of topics. Now, for those who do not have a system yet to install the Moz, I really do not know. The first method I shared, the one that you don't use a tool at all, is the best approach for you. You can just combine this with that. But the only thing is you have to now focus more on long tail, because since you don't have the extension to see to have an idea of what the difficulty might look like, you might just stick to just targeting long tail and hoping that the long tail is worth it. So, but as soon as you can install your Moz, you have to do that quickly. So Moz helps you make things a bit easy for you. You understand? So another free tool that we have is Google Trends. So Google Trends. So you can go to Google Trends. So Google Trends shows you what people are searching or what people are saying in a particular place, in a particular environment at a given point in time. So this, for instance, is Google Trends. So as it is saying that as at now in Nigeria, one of the things that is trending is Napoli versus Como. This is a football match, and it's a testament of how much Nigerians love football. So this is Google Trends. This is Google Trends. This is telling you what is trending. What it means by what is trending is what are people searching on Google. What are people typing. So if you can see, it had a peak period around 5:40 p.m. It had peak at around 7 what now? What's the time? 7:24 p.m. That's probably when the match was on. Now it has gone to 0. Probably the match has ended. This is 9:40. You can see it has gone to 0 because the match has ended. You can see it was 0. You get all this while nobody was searching on Google. Suddenly, from around 4:36 p.m. today, people started talking about or searching about the match because the match was about to go on. And then after the match ended, I think the match ended somewhere here, you can see it has died down to 0. This is how Google Trends help you. So you can use this and jump on trends as they develop. But the only thing is that most times, once the trend starts, it just dies. And once it dies, you get the content, the traffic that goes to that content too goes. The place Google Trends will help you is when you're creating web content for your client's social media. So you could use Google Trends to create content for social media. And quickly dive on trends and get 1 or 2 clicks to the site of your clients, as the case may be. So let's see trending now. Let's see what are the contents trending now. So we're talking about to search SEO topics. Remember, the idea behind SEO topics are topics that will bring traffic to you. So in one way, you could use these trending topics on social media, then find a way where you connect them to an existing topic on your client's website that is probably maybe related. So Paul Pogba is trending, and the gist is because Paul Pogba is a former Man United player who was given a 4 years ban for doping. He failed a doping test. Now it has been reduced to 18 months. So a lot of people are typing about it on Google. This is Google. This is not social media. It means people are searching for this on Google. So if there are people on Google, Nigerians on Google searching for this, there are also Nigerians on social media searching for this. So if you write a quick content on social media and if you write a quick content, post it on your site, then write what's it called, summarize it and use it as a social media post. You can add a link to the full content you get on that post, and that's where you see people tap and start clicking. You probably might have been online sometimes where you see some gist from Yaba left, and then the gist will just trend for a while. A lot of people click and go and read the stuff, you understand? But after that day or after that period where the gist is, the whole trend dies. But the thing is that you have managed to also send traffic. Some people who will get used to your site or who will appreciate your site for being quick to produce that information might stick around your page for a while. So this is also another way you do manual search for SEO content topics. So you can also search in terms of area of topic. So I think so. So you can use this category session. So you have this category session. So hamster combat is still trending. So hamster combat is what about what's it called? A crypto related stuff. So a lot of people are still talking about it. You can also write the topic or a content that talks about what is happening, what content writers should learn from hamster combat, or what blockchain enthusiasts should learn from hamster combat, or what happened hamster combat. So let's even try and see the hamster combat. Let's see more. So of course, you see that I have just said about hamster combat. Google will still record it too now. You get, so you see how the topic trends. So this is what, and this is that thing I'm saying. A lot of it is being led from social media, and Google is indexing them as you get conversations on in Nigeria. Because remember that even Twitter is also a website. So Google also cross their site to read for stuff. So yeah, what people are saying, does hamster combat pay real money? How much is hamster combat in Naira? You get, so this is to show that it's your country people, it's not ghost. This question alone shows you that it's your country people. So you can write this as content, you understand? What happened to hamster combat? You get all those kind of things. You can use the trend tables to see. Baba Ijebu, you want to find out why is Baba Ijebu trending? What is the problem now? Sporty bets for Nigerians and their betting appetite, you get. So I said you can also search in terms of categories. So I'm just going to use arts and entertainment, for instance. So we have this. So we're going to see the things that are trending in terms of arts and entertainment. My Demon television series, cast song by Charlie Poppy. So if I was what's it called, entertainment blogger, or I have an entertainment website, or a client that has an entertainment website, you get, so a lot of the stuff that trended this year, new national anthem. We know when that new national anthem stuff started. So let me just tweak that a bit. Download MP3 format. So I'm going to change it back to Rising. So you can also, this is web search. You can do image search. You get, so in the image search, you want to see what kind of images are people searching in terms of entertainment. What you're going to do, you create a page, you create a content, you get TechnoSpark 20 Pro image. People want to see Techno. So you can do a TechnoSpark 20 Pro review page, write the page, put some images and title them TechnoSpark 20 Pro front view, TechnoSpark back view of TechnoSpark 20 Pro, top view of, you get all those things, you have them in your site. Google will index that your page and use that image from the image search. You get, people can be coming to your site. So this is another way. So YouTube search in terms of art, you can use this for people who have YouTube pages. You get, you can use this and find out a lot of things. So another another this thing we can use is Google Keyword Planner. So I might not go into details. We've spent our time. So Google Keyword Planner can give you same way, similarly with Google Trend, but it's not trend topics now. Google Keyword Planner is more about, okay, let me see if I can share. Should I share the Google Keyword Planner process or we're good to go? Are we still awake?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just give me a minute. Let me also show us Google Keyword Planner. Let me try the blog. Ooh. So you need in the past you could be able to open Google Keywords Planner. Before it used to be called Google AdWords. Excuse me. Before it used to be called Google AdWords. Then it was even maybe easier. Now it's kind of a bit sophisticated. So, and according to what I know, you should have run an ad before using the keyword planner. It's also been a while I used it. The last time I tried running a Google ad, almost a year or two now. So, but hopefully I still have some of my functionalities. Just so then I'm trying to see. And as I suspected, I'm not about. So I'm going to go back on this. Just going to go back, try doing this again. So you might just try your luck. I don't know if it still works the way it used to do. What I mean by if it still works is, I mean, then you didn't need to like really have spent money. You get there, you didn't need to really have spent money on Google to be able to use it. You get you should be able to use it. So like I said, it's been a while I use it. It's almost so they're even telling me that my account is not active anymore. So I'm just going to hide this. So get search volume and forecast, discover keywords. So when you are logged into your Google Keywords account, you see Keyword Planner, you see. So ideally, it was created to help you when you're setting up ads. So it's supposed to help you show, for instance, if you want to run an ad for CV writing service, so it's supposed to show you some keywords related to what people also what keywords that people who are interested in that thing you're looking for might probably be searching for. So you can now add it to this thing. You get to the keywords you have picked. So discover new keywords, like you can see, discover new keywords. So I might just say resume writing service, for instance, right? Resume writing service. And so I'll just say get results. So I will not put any filter for now. I want to see all they are going to show me. You get, and in a matter of time, they'll start showing me stuff. They'll start showing me stuff. So over here, so you can see over here, executive resume writing service. So it also shows me the average monthly search you get for free. You get average monthly search. Now is an estimate. Then it used to be a closer value, but a lot of things have changed. Of course, Google also wants to make more money. So executive resume writing service. So that could be a content topic we could write on. you get, because people search for it. Professional resume, AI resume writer. So I can see this and copy this and create a content of top 10 best AI resume writer. Then somewhere in the content, I can also state that, oh, we can help you write a good resume. You don't need an AI. You get somehow. You get that's also how you sell in your content. So AI resume writer, of course, that content will bang because a lot of people are looking for a lot of things that AI can help them do. They are trying to avoid the long work. So resume and LinkedIn writing service. So you can see some other keywords. So this keyword planner will just pretty much show you a lot of things. You get a lot of things. And you also have the opportunity to tweak most of the things here. You can tweak most of the things. You can change the country and target different country. You understand? You can download this whole keyword you're seeing here. So if this place is too small for you to analyze, you can just download here. Then when you now have all those contents listed out in your, it will download automatically. Let me try downloading it. So CSV file or Google Sheet. So I'll just go for CSV file. So it's preparing my report. It's preparing my report. So downloading, and it will soon show here once it starts downloaded to show here. So I can now open that in my system and start picking out. It's going to provide almost 1,000 topics related to CV. So it will help me see more and more things. So as you can see, this is 1 to 50 of 976. So it's going to show me about 976. There I can now see some other topics. So as you can see here, can you guys see this? Can you guys see that this is showing? Can you see this that it has downloaded?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
we
sir.
Okay, so let me try and open the file and see if I can do a thing or two with you guys from the file. Let me know if you can see the file when I open it. I'm trying to open it. So I told you guys that today's class will actually be loaded because we have a lot to cover. You guys remember, right? So I'm just hoping you guys also prepared for me, because I know by this time other classes would have been rounding up. So, and we're just still in the manual. You're there. We're just still in the manual. And that was also why I was emphasizing in those previous, the last time we spoke, and even gave extra, I say, go back to those things we have been talking about. If you do not know them, by the time we get to this class, some things will just be flying your head. So we're still in manual method, right? We've not even gone to start looking at the other methods. So I think, come on now. I thought it's open. So I'm going to just wait for that to try and load. So this is pretty much how the Google Keyword Planner can also help you. So you can also pick forecast. It will tell you, it will give you an idea of maybe content that are trying to come up related to this field. You get, so whatever. Are you guys seeing this screen? Like the screen of the CSV file that is about to load.
The
Is
screen
there
we are
somebody
seeing is,
there?
yes, sir. This screen we are seeing is the Google Ads keyword planner screen.
It's still the okay, still the Google. Okay, so let me try and change my sharing. So all right. I'm coming deep. What's it called? I'm trying to load the Okay, so I think I've I think I've overloaded the system. It's kind of it's taking a while to load the file. So I can see the file actually. I want to stop sharing the screen I'm sharing so that I can share this particular screen now to still show you guys further how to do the manual method. We're still discussing the manual method. Manual method. Oops. Come on. So I think I've overloaded the system. So it's hanging because of the file I just downloaded. Okay, so is my other system, are you guys still seeing it? Or has it been disconnected? Because I can't even.
It has been disconnected, sir.
No, we can't see it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So my system, I think I overloaded it. I have a lot. And so just like every machine, it started crying for me. Let me see if I'm going to put it back because we have to get it. So, but in the manual process, all the ones I've shared, they might some things might fly over your head, but I believe that we're smart guys, and when we go through the thing again meticulously, not rushing, because as you can already see from all the things I've been saying, if you try to rush it, you will not get it. And your aim is not just to rush it and finish it there. Your aim is actually to understand it. So After this class, we'll still go back to them and try to revisit what I've said, how I've said it. You get, I've talked about the manual processes, just using Google search phrases. But yeah, that's true. Please sign in using so the manual processes, just using Google. Then I showed you guys how to use Moz, to combine Moz and Google search. I also told you guys how to combine Moz and answer the public using this free. These are free. You don't need to pay any money for any of those tools. I also showed you guys how to use answer the public and Google with Moz. I showed you guys how to use Google Trends, you get, and also Google Trends and what's it called now? Google Trends and Moz. So the idea for the Moz extension is just to know the particular content you're trying to target, the difficulty of those words. You get the difficulty. So if the content's ranking for it and not, you see that there are contents that their domain authority is not that high, you can develop the confidence to go for them. I've also tried to explain to us where the point of topical authority comes in, whether the content is a high difficulty or not. There is the part of topical authority where you're not looking at all those, you're building the content for the topical authority. So before the break in transmission, I was trying to show us how to use Google Keyword Planner. As it stands, I'm guessing, I don't know why. I'm loading this for the second time now, and it's still giving me this. It's not, I know it's 3 hours I was set for this. So I do not know if it's because of that. So is it 2 hours I said? How many hours did I set? So sorry guys, I'll have to leave this particular one and join back with my PC. Thank you so much. I'm back.
Welcome back, sir.
Are we there?
Yes, sir. Welcome back, sir.
All
Welcome
right,
back,
so
sir.
let's roll. Salute. So let's roll. So here's the file I downloaded. If you can still remember I downloaded from the CSV file I downloaded from my Google Keyword Planner. Of course, it's free. So this is what it's going to show me. So I'm just going to expand this. So for people who are already used to using Excel, all of these things. So this is average monthly search. So it also gives you an idea of the traffic rate of the content in quotes. It's just an estimate. It's not like it's 500. This is actually going to be more than 500. This will even be 5 million. You get, it could be 5 million searches. So they just try to like summarize it. So give you an idea. So I have over 900 content here. So I'll now begin to look. So I already showed us this one, which I have an interest in, AI resume writer. I can pick this title and I can pick it, copy it, and put it in a, in a sheet. You get, still continue going and see, what's wrong with my system? I guess I need to restart. Okay. I start responding. So another topic, you see that number 17, top resume writing services. So it could also give me an idea. You get free resume writing service. So we're talking about, we're here. So I can just copy this, put in a sheet. You get affordable resume writing services, federal resume writing services. So certified professional resume writers. So you can have a content that talks about professional certified resume writers in a particular place. So this is how this method also helps you. Best resume writing services for executives, you understand? Monster resume writing services, cheap resume writing services, top rated resume. So this alone gives you a lot you can work with, a lot. But of course, you want to work with best resume and LinkedIn profile writing services. You want to just work with best resume writing service 2024. It also gives you an idea that if people can search for best resume writing 2022 rather now, they can also ask best resume writing service 2022, 24 or 25 or 26. So whatever year you are, you can also use that pattern and write along that line. Upwork resume writer. So there are lots. So this, if you sieve it down, this is how this method helps you. So any word at all, any word at all, any word at all, any word at all. So any word at all. If it were me, you get any word at all. Any word at all you can put in that keyword planner. You can put in the keyword planner and try to work with it. Try to work with it. You get, if let's say if it's baking. So if it's baking, for instance, if it's baking, so we come here. So remember where I went to here, this search, you get, remember here, I put resume writing service. I can change this to baking. So I just want it to give me, you get, I'll just say search. I just want it to give me what are people searching in terms of baking in Nigeria. I'm not even holding back. I'm not trying to get, I'll download the CSV file again. This CSV file, the last time I downloaded was trying to, I hope it does not mess up things for me again. So you get, I'll just see, it will just show me a lot of conversations people are having on the web regarding to baking in Nigeria. So this is the one I just downloaded. This is the one I just did now, baking. So I'm just trying to expand this. Bakery near me, order cake online, cookie cutters. So you can write about cookie cutters. You get best cookie cutters was this, best cookie cutter was that, banana bread, how to prepare banana bread. as a newbie. So it begins to give you idea. Christmas cookie cutters, brownies by post. You get cake pans. You get apple chips. It gives you a lot of things people are asking for. So it also helps you then tell your clients, oh, see, a lot of people, like for instance, you can come to this contest that have 500 and see what is the bakery shop near me? What is this cake bakery? You get cake tree, there's cinnamon chips for baking, you get tate cookies. You can now start advising your client, oh, do you know about tate cookies? Let's say, for instance, you're working with a client that do foods. You get a lot of people searching about tate cookies. Will you try that? You get as a recommendation. You show the person data to show that, okay, waiting cake, decorating, this should be an organization, yeast for baking. What are the best yeast for baking? You can see it has a very high search. So this is how Google Keyword Planner helps you. So you actually need a Google Keyword account. Once you have a Google account, you can always open your Google Ads account and you have the Keyword Planner there. So I know it will tell you to either run an ad, but I think there's a way around it. Just search on Google how to use Google Keyword Planner without running an ad, and you should see something. I think you should see something that will help you escape it. So whatever it is, you just put it here, and it's going to give you a lot of information. You get, like I told you, you can forecast. I think it doesn't have that for this at the moment. So a lot of things you can do, a lot of things. You can also use a website to filter unrelated content, right? Or you can use Zoom do the search. Hello, am I still connected?
Yes, sir. Can you
Okay.
sir?
All right. So let's say, for instance, you can even use a website. So for instance, if for instance, let me say my competitors are Jobberman, for instance, I might just want to see what do they write about. You get what content are they writing on? You get, then I will now see, oh, which of those contents don't I have? What's this? Did I not put it right? Enter website. Sorry. So just for instance, or let me even use Jumia. Maybe I just for Jumia. Let me just for reference purpose, right? So for instance, if there's also for you have some brands you look up to that have website, you want to see what kind of content they are creating to educate their clients, and then you can now use the same method. So this is another way for you to get topics. You can now use the content they have, now tweak it, you get to suit your own and what you can rank for. Does that make sense on what you can rank? So look at some of the topics that Jumia, laptop, HP computer, this gets up to 10 to whatever, laptop price, 1 to 10K, 100 to 1K, laptop for sale. You can go down. If you download the CSV file, you see a lot of topics, and then you can begin to tweak it, right? Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right. So I think we will stop here for today. We will stop here for today. And what else? Let me see my slide. We will stop here for today. So we were here. We talked about manual SEO, we talked about Moz, keyword planner. We've talked about I didn't add. So it's supposed to be 4 answer the public. And we've also talked about 5 Google trends. And we talked about combination of the different methods. So what that means is I've showed you how to combine what am I doing? I've showed you how to combine manual search with Moz, right? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I showed you people how to combine Moz and answer the public. Is that not correct?
Yes, sir.
I showed you people too how to combine Google Trends with manual search and Moz. You understand? I also showed you people so the combination, that's that number 6, combination of the different methods. So Google Trends is just still similar way when you gather the information from the Google Trends, right? When you gather the information from the Google Trends, you just get the raw file, like those raw data, just like you do on Answer the Public. Then since you're using the manual method, you now take it to Google search, you turn on your Moz. When you put it there, you see the difficulty. From the difficulty, from all the pool of content you've gotten, you now start tweaking them to see which one you get, the ones you change from because most of them, if you look at the what's it called? If you look at what they gave us, you see that most of them are head tail keywords, right? There are keywords that you might not rank for immediately. So you have to now look for the long tail form of those keywords. So soft cookies, if you write soft cookies, you might not rank for soft cookies, for instance. So you have to now look for a way to tweak this to a long tail keyword so that you have a better opportunity to rank. You get, so that's the combination process. So that is all I will cover for this class, so that we can ask questions, or we can also have a little breather from the bombarding already. So I will take questions now. Do we have questions? Questions? Are people on this call?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So why is everybody quiet? Is the information too much? Did I overload it?
Yes,
I
sir. We
overload.
are trying to like assimilate everything and
Madam Ogechi, did I overload it?
I think it's a little much, but it's something we could go back to.
So, okay. I was thinking I'm even being soft too. So you know this one I've been telling people to prepare since how many days, and I even gave people a clue. I told you, was it yesterday? I was telling people that I'm preparing the slides and I'm smiling, and all of you were saying power. Now you would have overloaded it. Okay, so I'm not loading more, but is there any question? Just think through what we have talked. Any question? Is there anything you're still not clear about? I know, yes, you will get the replay so that you can take time again and go through. So, but let me hear from you. What do you need clarity on? Eudora, is Eudora here? Eudora. Okay. Chiko, did you have question?
Question.
Okay, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. I want to ask concerning the keyword this
Planner.
like for instance, now if I'm searching, if I'm to search for anything for one particular topic like that, Google might not bring exactly what I'm searching for, but that topic is under. Like if I click something similar to it, the topic I'm searching for is under the subheading of that thing. So I want to understand why is it like that.
Okay, so mute yourself. I don't know why. Are you joined in on two systems?
Please come again.
Are you joined in on two systems? I was getting a feedback from you.
No, sir.
Okay. So let me see. I think I did a search that thing you mentioned happened. So I'm going to try to do something. Let me see if I can find it. If I can, good. So because most of these things is good when you're seeing it and you're seeing the phenomenon in quotes, and then you can easily understand what exactly happened and why it happened that way. So I want to see if I can trace. I know I did a search this evening, so where I was trying to tell you guys that is a rich snippet. I think both my network and all the stuff I have on. So let me use a typical. I'll try to ask a typical question that could cause that so that I can use that. So let me just say why don't or why are rivers men loyal? Yeah, this is the right one because everybody knows rivers men are loyal. So I'm going to ask, why are rivers men loyal? So just you can just see what nonsense people are saying. Which one is, why are you scared of that rivers person? When see nobody even has this. Okay, let me see. Why is Wike and Kubara fighting? So I'm sorry guys, I'm just playing around, and I'm trying to make it entertaining so that you guys don't get bored. But I'm not still seeing it. How to not a time. So it's something like this. Okay, this video. Let me try another. How to be a husband material. Okay, great. Now, so something like this, right? That's what you asked. You get, so you make a search. What Google is showing is probably not even the title of the content, right? Or you get, and sometimes when you click on it, it's just somewhere in the middle or somewhere at the bottom. So what happens is that the algorithm, now this is another secret, so you guys should open your ears very well. The algorithm reads information, right? It has a way of converting information from HTML code to make sense of it, you get, as a search. Now, most times, when you have a heading that is trying to address a question, you get, so perhaps in this Quora article, there is a header that says how to be a husband material. Now, once you have a header like that in your content, just immediately start answering that question. You get, don't waste time to start explaining. No. Once you have a header that says, for instance, why are girls dark? I'm just using for instance. So once you have that, you just go immediately and say, girls are dark because of this. Now, once the crawlers crawl down your content and come to that point and see that header, why are girls dark? And see that after that header, you just start answering the question, they will favor that thing you have stated. Most times, the full content you wrote might not rank. But when somebody types, why are girls dark? The crawlers will remember that there was a place somebody wrote it and answered it immediately. The mistake most writers make is that when they have such stuff, they want to start explaining first. You know, people say, once they put the header, they will not start saying, people say girls are dark, but are girls really dark? Why? No. The best way to do it that makes most of these things is you just go straight. You get, go straight to start answering it. Now, see this, for instance, see what this part that the algorithm picked to show you. He said maturity is often evidenced by selflessness and considering the other person's needs, interests, concern, and dress over one's own. A good husband is one who has learned to consider the needs and desires of his wife. He's a listener. Are you seeing that the person, the first three sentences, yes, they're addressing the issue, no time. So the algorithm will just go to that part of this thing and show it to you. So it does not even necessarily matter if the title of that content is even what you understand you're searching for. So that's that phenomenon that happens. It uses people content that are really specific. You get another secret is when you put out a content or when you're writing a content and the content is actually supposed to require some kind of research to answer, and you say based on research or based on the comments of authorities in this field, it has been discovered that this and that. Once the algorithm sees that, and you're not just saying it, you now cite a website or you start that backs up that comment you made. As the algorithm just reads that based on research or based on authority, because the algorithm is looking for well-researched work that has good citation. So the algorithm will go to that site you have cited. Once he reads that page too and see that it's related to that thing you're making claim to, it will favor when people search for that thing just because of that thing you have made reference to, that based on research. So the algorithm will know that this content was written based on good and thorough research. So that is another phenomenon that's another method or thing that provokes or that makes the algorithm favor contents like that. So those are two ways I have also discovered. Usually people pay a lot of money before I can even tell them this thing I just said. All right, next question. 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 Is it that people are not in this class?
So we're in the call. We're on the call. We're in the class.
Chikodi, the person that asked the question, did you get your answer? Any other question? So no question for this. So we should call it a night.
I think so.
Good evening, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
somebody
sir.
has
Thank you.
question.
Pashina, okay, go ahead, your question.
Okay, my network, I'll go and ask the question.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Go ahead with your question.
Okay, my question is this. Of 20 and a post on, let's say, Jumia, and their website, like it stops the page and it has a domain authority of 40. I asked something like a web authority of 20 still has like a competitive, can still compete with such. Like we're saying like factor of 2, 1.5. Like I want clarity that is aspect. Like I add factor of 1.5, factor of 2, and the likes.
Pashina, type your question. Type your question. Your line is breaking. I can't really. Grace, you said your hair didn't they? Like today's classes. So Fashina, factor of 2 and 1.5 multiplied by domain authority of 3. I don't get the equation now. What's the equation? Pashina, please rephrase that question. I don't really get the question. Are you there? Can you hear me? Okay. If a Jumia web page, so your question, if a Jumia web page has domain authority of 90 and my web page has domain authority of 40, can I still go on and compete with such posts? Okay, now get it right, right? You are writing a topic, right? Your yardstick for your judgment domain authority or keyword keyword authority is just one part of it, right? If a Jumia site of 90 and yours of 40, there are certain things that come together, which if you were paying attention in the last class, we already covered a lot of them. We said things like the topical authority of that site. So what is the topic about? If Jumia, for instance, mistakenly is ranking for a content on how to dress well as a man, yes, they're an e-commerce site, but then we now have another site that is a site dedicated to dressing, that writes how to dress well as a man. That site will later outrank as like it is presumed, what's the word now? It will be assumed that that site would outrank them in the future, because in terms of topical authority, that's their area, right? If I use an instance at that time, I said, if a site that is a career writes something about psychology and another website that is about psychology, regardless of it, that site that has written something about that site that is focused on psychology will outrank. So it's not just can you chase them. The question is, what did they write? What are you trying to write? Is the thing you're writing with your domain authority of 40, is that your area of strength? That's number one. Then number two, with a domain authority of 40, your site is already solid. So you have the liberty to actually write a couple of contents and compete with a couple of sites. So the other metrics will not be the quality of what you're writing against theirs. You get? So that's what will determine. You get? So you have a lot of chance to rank with a domain authority of 40. You get? But what are you writing is another question. It has to be really, really relevant to who you are or what your brand is. Yeah, so thank you too. Is that the last question? So should we call it the evening? Is Eudora on this call? Somebody raised hand. Did I see a hand?
Yes, I actually wanted to ask a question
Okay.
or
Go ahead.
questions. When it has to do with ranking, for instance, as beginners and we are creating, like you want to, you're researching, because with what you're saying, we have to, like, there has to be a high level of research that should go on, first of all. So, for a website or something, what's the time frame as beginners to actually put out a post? I don't know if the question makes sense, because if I, for instance, after carrying out the research and I have proposed a particular topic based on what I have seen and how other websites, maybe their ranking level are, or maybe their domain level and all that. And then I carry out that research and I carry it out for like 3-4 days, and then come back again and realize that what I am looking at has also been, how do I put that now? I don't know if I'm trying to, what I'm trying to, yes, they've written on it, and that point too, the ranking level for other websites are also very high. And I'm just beginning. So how do we go about it? I think those are two different questions, because the first one I said, how do we, because I'm asking this question based on this 30 days challenge. It should also affect us in this aspect. So as beginners, what do we do? Because the research looks like there are a lot of things you need to consider before putting out a particular, maybe post on your website or anything like that. So how do we manage this?
Okay, so first things first, there are two angles here. The first angle is you are a private website owner, so the website is your own. There's another angle of the website belongs to somebody else, right? So those are two angles I will still address. Now, time frame of content creation depends on you, your pocket, your availability of manpower, your availability of time, and this is now spread across the two areas, two dimensions, whether you're writing for yourself or you're writing for a client. Now, if you're writing for a client, it depends on how much the client is paying and how many content topics the client is paying for, how many when does the client want to deliver. If it's now you personally, you also now have to now sit down and set targets. Ideally, when you're starting out on your own website, you should be able to be creating at least 3 contents per week. Do you understand? You should be able to be creating 3 contents per week. In terms of time frame, so even though you did not ask this part, I was still weighing, right? And this is also based on my own experience and that of people I've worked with. It might not be universal to everybody, but here's the thing. When you're starting out, usually your website might take around 3 to 6 months before Google starts crawling your site and indexing your pages. So the first 1, 2, 3 months, you're just writing content. Google might not even have seen your site because as you've already seen how many billions of websites there are online. So you need a lot of content written. And that is also where backlinking comes in. It's as you're creating content, backlinking your pages, you should be able to also backlink to other websites that are already existing. The reason is because whenever the crawlers come back, because crawlers, even like this faster website you're seeing on the screen, crawlers come, in short, perhaps crawlers are also crawling the sites as we're speaking now. You get, because they want to see, are there new content on this? The crawlers are always content hungry. They never get tired of content. So if there is a new site that backlink us, the crawlers might move. Just look at it like these spiders, right? The way spiders move with thread, with that web from one place to the other, they will just connect. So the spiders will just move. Once they see like a hole, and that hole in this question now is like another side that's connected to us. That's the moment they start move from our side, they will just go there. If it now happens that that side that they went to is a new site, they send more signals and more crawlers will not come. The next thing they do, they start crawling the whole website. So the fastest way to help Google crawlers identify your site is when you also backlink to other sites. Because those sites, the crawlers would, because since you're backlinking to them, it means you're passing off authority to those content. Then the crawlers will come to your content. So the quicker you do that, and the quicker the crawlers can crawl your site. It will also take a while for you to develop authority, for you to start competing if you're starting afresh. So what does that mean? It means that in the very first stages, this is if you're writing for yourself, you create a lot of content on your own. You understand? The traffic might not be there, but you then at that point need to start creating content using the topical authority approach so that when the crawlers come, they can easily identify your content and put them under a category. The quicker the crawlers can put your content as a fresh website under a category, the better for you, and then the quicker you can start appearing. So it's now left to you and how much you have available to spend on content, or if it's your personal thing. So you can be writing, you can also be paying another writer, so people have like 2 hands. With that, you can be creating a content every day. you see all these posts, Bella Niger, Linda Ikeji, those guys create content every single day. In short, those guys create up to 10 contents per day. There are websites that create up to 20 contents per day. So all of them depends on your level, the level you've gotten to. You now decide, oh, at this level, we create this content amount. So when you've gotten to a certain level with a certain traffic and people are always looking for your content, you now also decide how many contents you have to create per day to satisfy those audience and the service areas that you have opened up. So that is how it works. So nobody is going to say you must create content every day. It's you on your own that knows that for you to keep getting, for your website to keep getting visibility, you need to create. It's just the same way the LinkedIn challenge is. The more you're creating the content, people are seeing it, people are engaging in it. That's how the LinkedIn algorithm is recognizing your profile and your content. And the next time you post, they push it to more people. And that is how. So just imagine how that LinkedIn algorithm behaves. That's also how the Google algorithm behaves. The more you create, the better for you. If you take a lot of time, so after it comes across today, tomorrow, there's nothing for it to go and rest. So you also have to keep the consistency going. So that's just how it works. But in the beginning part, so you don't burn out, you can spread it out. You can say, oh, one content on Monday, one content on Wednesday, one content in the weekend. You get 3 weekly. You can even do 2 weekly. And also another way is you can also use your friends. So when you're creating, I'm talking now from the point that it is your personal blog. When you create content, you share the links on your posts, on your social platform, try to tell friends to click, go and read what you've written, you get, and just give it time. So far as an SEO written content, you get over time, the crawlers will take charge. In the beginning part, the traffic on your site will mostly be coming from direct clicks. Direct clicks now is like people saw the link on somewhere and just click on it. Then after a while, to take a while, maybe some people a year, some people 2 years, then the algorithms will just take over and will just overshadow whatever traffic you're getting from direct clicks. So I hope I answered your question.
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
All right. Any more questions? Today is today. People are now getting, so you can now see that after you've finished your drilling, you can now see why I was serious that it has to be people who really show that commitment that I can bring to this stage, because it's not when I get here, it will not be easy to deal with people who were not really, 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 really ready. So any other question? Ask questions.
Please, I have a question.
Please go ahead.
Okay, so as a beginner also, do you have to create a website for you to have your content posted on that website?
So I don't think you need all that hassle, right? Unless you really have other strengths to start the whole managing of your website and all that, you probably do not, trust me. Because if you want to do that, you really need to put in the work and effort. So the money you will spend on domain, building the site, even if you want to do it on your own, you might even not set it up unless you have some technical knowledge. If not, you might probably not set it up correctly. And then you have issue with the template, your contents might not be indexing properly. So for you to do it and do it well, you would spend money to contract a web developer. That's also money. So if it's just where you're looking to post your contents to show to people to show people so that they can see the quality of your work, you don't need a website. That's why I told you about LinkedIn article. Success in her class covered some of those things, including using even normal Google Doc. There's I think Behance, there are a lot of free as these things that she also talked about. You don't need to create your website. Unless you want to run your website on your own and you have that fortitude and all the time you get. And even at that time, when you want to start your website on your own, it might also be wise to contract it out to somebody else in the beginning, because you need to build the content structure of the site. So you need to still put in your energy there. Now, if you're working, if you plan on selling your skill to a client or clients or clientele, as the case may be, and you need somewhere for your portfolio, it's not difficult. You can just use your LinkedIn, create content, post them as an article on your LinkedIn or other platforms as suggested by Success in the third class, at the second class, and you're good to go. So you don't need other. Running a website now, trust me, ask anybody who has a website, the fees are deadly now, especially because of the currency exchange rate now.
Thank you so much.
All right. So especially unless if it's a business, yes. So if it's a business website, feel free. But if it's a personal website, trust me, you don't need hassle. Just use other portfolios to work with. Questions. Amarachi, you said your hair didn't dey. You will not ask question now.
Sir, I didn't see anything. No.
Were you not the person that said your hair did not dey?
No.
Who said that? I read somebody's comment. Who made that comment? I thought it was Amarachi. Okay, it's Grace. Sorry, it's Grace. Okay, all right. I want to believe that there's no more question. So we'll call it an evening. I'll try and make the recordings available this evening, and I'll drop it in the group. I'm supposed to give you guys your assignments for your 5th assignment, which is proofreading, because we've not even done your proofreading assignment. So I would try and do that tomorrow so that your brains will rest. So, but I will also try to make the recording replay available as quick as possible so that people can start going through it. So I don't know. Should we do a revision of this by Sunday, or we should go ahead to the next stage, the next part?
So let's do a
Let's do a
revision.
Revision.
Let's do a revision.
Okay, so all right, I'll provide the replays so you guys go through. Sunday we do a revision.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
All right.
God bless you, sir.
Okay. All right. No, it's where no problem. You guys need to sit up. See what I tell you. So you need to burn the midnight candle. You need to do extra shift. Even me, I'm doing extra shifts because of you guys. So okay. So Shini, drop on the group the summary of some of the decision we made. For instance, this one now that we made about instead of going to the other part of this, we do a revision, and next week we take the part B of content research. So what other?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, the writing challenge still continues. People who are owing
Yes,
us
sir.
days or writing challenge, people should help yourself. I don't even want to think of people who have not been doing the writing challenge, because if I start now, they'll say I started. Then we have maybe 4 more classes. So when you come to class, prepare for the classes, ask questions. That's why even though you guys are feeling tired, I've been forcing you to ask questions because we're slowly winding down. So you have to understand every step of the way. Okay. So thank you and good night, everybody. Please
Good
sign
night,
in,
sir.
sign
Thank you,
in,
sir.
sign in for the class before you go. Sign in and take a screenshot. Sign in, take a screenshot. Sign in and take a screenshot. Sign in, take a screenshot. Are we doing that? Are we signing in?
So I think almost everybody has signed already.
Okay, all right. Okay then, good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir.